or industrial works.
For Dr. Kaminsky, making energy isn't the only value of pyrolysis. His styrene oil, collected from waste styrofoam, is being fed to bacteria by an Irish bioengineer to make plastic.
They can eat it.
Dr. Kevin O'Connor grows bacteria that love to eat Dr. Kaminsky's delicious plastic oil. They fill their cells with it and grow and multiply. When the bacteria is all fat and fed and probably thinking about having a nap, Dr. O'Connor extracts the plastic material from the cells using a detergent.
We are not using biotechnology to create mutant bacteria. We're using a natural soil organism that we have not genetically modified that is doing this naturally. If it was out in the environment, it would be doing this anyway. So we're bringing it indoors, we're putting it in a fermenter, and we're asking it, okay, here's a nice food source that you like, let's go make plastic.
The plastic is completely non-toxic and 100% biodegradable, which means that, under the right environmental conditions, heat, oxygen, microorganisms, it will degrade away to nothing. Dr. O'Connor hopes the first applications will be in medicine and is looking at other waste plastics to feed to his critters.
We're targeting at the moment polystyrene. That's our number one because polystyrene, there's millions and millions of it ends up in landfill every year, millions and millions of kilograms. So much so that the Environmental Protection Agency in America recognizes it as a major pollutant.
While Dr. O'Connor's work is cutting-edge science and probably a few years off from mass production, there are already plant-based plastics on the market. They're called bioplastics, and they've been around for as long as oil-based synthetics. In 1941, Henry Ford even unveiled a soybean plastic car. Of course, Pearl Harbor put an end to that. Today, the price of oil has put bioplastics back on the map. Bioplastics are renewable, they can be recycled, they degrade away to nothing but CO2 and water, and they can be used to support local industry. NatureWorks is the largest bioplastics company in the world, and along with corn giant Cargill, have built an enormous plant in Blair, Nebraska. Their PLA plastic is made out of corn, and it can be turned into food packaging for customers like Walmart, and plastic products like bottles, feminine hygiene pads, diapers, socks, shirts, carpets, and bedding.
You can do all the normal things with it. You can with other polymers. You can incinerate it. You can landfill it. You can chemically recycle it, but we offer a new option, which is you can compost it.
Already, big companies are looking to reduce their dependence on fossil fuels by developing bioplastics. Sony makes its famous Walkman using NatureWorks corn-based plastic, and PlayStation's packaging is made from an expanded polystyrene that can be recycled using the oil from orange peels.
そういった中で、やはり将来的に向けて、石油が枯渇しているっていう問題もありますので、ソニーのようなというか、我々としては、ちょっと一歩先を行く感じで、率先してそういったバイオマス原料を使ったものを取り入れていきたいというふうに考えています。
Electronics giant NEC has also made a biodegradable cell phone derived from corn and a plant called quinoa.
そのために我々はこれはリサイクルもできるし、それから万が一燃やしてもバーニングしても有害なガスが出ないようにする、または埋めても地中の中に埋めてもバイオデグラデートできるような、そういうような3種類の処分方法で3種類の処分法ができるように材料を設計しているわけですね。
Now we're getting somewhere. Here are companies making money without releasing toxins into the world or relying on fossil fuels. But could plants ever replace all the oil-based plastics on the market? Would we have enough farmland left to grow food?
Is there enough arable land available for the production of plastics? We have one rough figure that says 2 to 3 tons of bioplastics can be produced on 10,000 square meters of agricultural area. If you look to that area, which is available here in Europe, experts say it's about 30 million hectares. It's more than we consume today in Europe. So we consume 40 million tons here, we can produce 60 million tons.
Chemists are experimenting with other bioplastics, made of everything from orange peels to maple syrup, even carbon dioxide. At the U.S. Department of Agriculture headquarters in Baltimore, Justin Barone has found a waste stream from the poultry industry. They're using chicken feathers to make plastic.
We're taking the protein from chicken feathers and making this plastic. The other thing we're doing is we're taking the glycerol, which is left over from biodiesel. We have two uses for that. Number one, it's used as the processing additive in this polymer. And number two, we react it with citric acid to get a polyester.
So this guy's using a waste material, something that would be thrown out anyway, and it's directly competing with oil-based plastics. 5 years ago, they were laughed at by the plastic industry, but the rising price of fossil fuel means the USDA is now able to take them on.
You could eat this. I mean, I don't see any reason why not. It's just protein, and the keratin, not in your stomach, but somewhere along the line, keratin will dissolve. I don't know where. I can't chew it because it's so hard. This isn't, it actually has no taste to it. I've never eaten it before, but it actually has no taste to it.
He wasn't nearly as thrilled as the CEO of Plantic in Australia, who demonstrates his plastic products by eating them.
The best way to convince the skeptic that Plantic material is a functional product that's good for the environment and is non-toxic is to take the tray and to crush it and say it performs just like plastic, it looks like plastic, it feels like plastic, but then when I pour water on it, it starts to dissolve. And then I take some and I eat it.
Plantic uses a starch-based plastic that dissolves in water, unlike other bioplastics that require hot compost to degrade. Not that Brendan is advocating people throw their snack packages on the side of the road.
We brand our product in some cases as Plantic, the solution to pollution. Plantic is truly biodegradable, so in about 8 weeks it'll be back to the biomass of carbon dioxide and water. If it gets washed away or ends up in the sea, it will dissolve instantly. It's non-toxic, so it's not going to hurt anybody.
While a plastic ocean may have been this film's inspiration, it is the people dealing with the mess that hold the message, many of whom could not fit into the story. There are dedicated volunteers cleaning up remote communities. Others have devised tools for cleaning plastic waste from urban areas. A plastic producer showed off his commitment to reducing pellet loss both inside and outside the factory. There were artists using waste materials and everything from high fashion to folk art. In India, an entrepreneur is starting the first bioplastic bag company. In Australia, an ex-plastic bag maker showed off his new line of bio-based packaging. Numerous environmental groups also came forward with easy steps to conscious consumerism, and one scientist has pioneered a new field of study called green chemistry, where the toxicity, biodegradability, and the potential for recycling drive the invention of new materials. If there are safer alternatives on the market, why not change? If plastic can be designed to be infinitely recyclable, would we even need landfills? Instead of cheerleading plastic as a cheap and disposable material, why not cherish it as the finite and valuable material it is? Hopefully this film has shown we can do much better. The important thing to remember is that we as consumers have done nothing wrong. despite what some in the plastic industry might say. And it's absurd to think that the industry set out to create toxic materials that would never go away. All of us got swept up in the plastic promise, one that would free us from the constraints of nature and time. But now 100 years have passed since plastic appeared. It's time to rethink our relationship to synthetic materials. And as you've seen, a world of experts agree. Thank you for watching.
Says she, you all must be the change you wish to see. If I talk, must speak, by my walk is weak, show me just how to be the change I wish to see. I endeavor to shed light on blindness, speak my mind with patience and kindness. You know what I'm doing, I'm scoping for hope. There's no better time than to share we're coping. It's not our own Mama Earth's timeline. We all have our own steady rate of decline to use as a context for our worry. With one more day, would you slow down or hurry? Says she, you all must be the change.
10点全记录绿色影像系列，由人保电脑工业股份有限公司赞助播出。人保电脑邀请大家一起迈出拯救地球的第一步。
捐款赞助公视，公视给你多元观点。
全球1/4人口都在用网络，网络是一项革命，号称是人类公平的高峰。它是新疆界，给予所有人类同等的发言权。
Once you publish something, the ability to find it and stop it from spreading is near impossible.
The internet has liberated individuals, it's challenged existing power structures of nation states, and the future is still somewhat open.
10点全记录，天罗地网大革命，由亚历克·洛托斯基博士带大家前进网络的过去、现在和未来。
I think one of the greatest paradoxes of the web is that on the one hand, we applaud it for giving us all a voice and for giving us tremendous power. But on the other hand, this power can be used for good or for ill.
10月14日起，10点全记录，天罗地网大革命，就在公视13频道。
但有唐三公没唐三妈的俗谚跟陈顺胜、陈妈利医师有关台湾人遗传基因的研究，提供了台湾原生论的认同基础。85%的台湾人带有台湾原住民的血缘。
你这个85%的这个数据是不是国族血统论的论证之一？
没有啊，这个跟国族血统论没关系嘛。只要你认同你是原住民，就是原住民，这是一个认同的问题。
2004年，青春版《牡丹亭》集结两岸文化精英，为昆曲表演注入新鲜活力。2009年，白先勇再度带领原班人马制作新版《玉簪记》，将中国传统文人的雅致以及琴曲书画在舞台上诠释得淋漓尽致。公视《玉簪记》双 DVD 再创昆曲新美学，值得您珍藏品味。
她不但长得漂亮，有气质，而且还很有个性。如果想追我们民芳，可是比革命还难呢。你怎么别叫？
你就可以叫我阿国。
这就是我的老爸曾保国，他的行为举止一辈子都让人出乎意料。
哪个学生时期不作弊？我告诉，想当初
我没有作弊。小玉说，他们要对我看报的。
看报的，这把剪刀你留着。如果有人敢看报的，你就拿出这把剪刀把报的剪开。爸爸有个好朋友在刑事局里面。
人家说女儿是老爸上辈子的情人，我这个老情人却是个痞子。我上辈子究竟怎么了？
公视人生剧展2010金钟系列《痞子老情人》，10月10号周日下午2点，就在公视13频道。